Well, that time has finally come. We are 1 week away from Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Mufasa the Lion King from releasing. These are two movies that have been destined to clash ever since we heard that last year, when Avatar was moved away from this date, that Mufasa the Lion King would instead be going up against Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 has kept this date ever since it was announced. It has not moved, it has not budged with the competition. It has stayed on this date. And even at the fact that Disney, having possibly their biggest movie of the year dropping, Sonic still kept pushing through. And here we are at, who's gonna take it home here? Is Sonic the Hedgehog 3 actually gonna win it all at the box office? Or is Mufasa gonna slightly win by this? By all the hype that's surrounding this, I have a few ideas, and it's honestly looking more in favor in Sonic. First of all, it's Shadow. Okay, but getting my personal things aside. One, this movie has been hyped up for quite a long time. It has a built-up respect for it, which the general audience is very key for these kind of things. If you're a company known for pushing out slop, you're not gonna gain in a big audience. This is why the remakes box offices has slowly been declining over the years. Years prior, they used to make billions of dollars, but now they really haven't been doing as well. Sure, they'll make money, they'll always be successes financially at least, but they're never gonna be box office hits as they used to be, because they know it's just soulless remakes, nothing really new being added to it, and if it's something new added to it, it's really something pointless. And these remakes will just not stop coming. We have now a Tangled remake in the works. It's never ending. Zachary Levi is already looking at that role very keenly, seeing if he can come back. It's just getting out of hand at this point. And with Mufasa the Lion King, people will say, oh, well, this is the exception. It's not a remake. It's a completely new story. Yes, it's a new story, but it's done in the worst form possible. In this photorealistic CGI version, where the emotion is not nearly as impactful as the first movie. And you could easily do this movie 2D animated. It would pay such a nice homage to Disney 100th anniversary, way better than Wish ever did, and would be respectful on Lion King's name. And it was also just spat on by its remake. But at the same time, just because this remake made $1 billion and became the highest grossing animated movie, there was a lot of hatred going towards this. And that is the only reason why this is probably even moving forward. And from the looks of things, you can see that yes, they're kind of doing things differently and have listened to the audience, like making some frowns, making some smiles, but it's still not going to be enough to hit as hard as an actual 2D animated Lion King movie. And I feel like it's just going to fall into that same ballpark of just being okay, but it's not really a great movie at all. But with Mufasa the Lion King, we kind of just have to see. The movie could go either way, we really don't know that much. But it's kind of quietly being promoted, because Moana 2 has been really being pushed right now, because that seems to be Disney's big hero right now. But Mufasa, it's not looking too good at the opening weekends, because you can take a good look at some opening screenings for Mufasa, and it's not as packed as you'd think it'd be for a movie of this caliber. And mind you, these are the pre-screenings Thursday, and then moving into Friday, it's bad. But then, if you look in the other corner, on Paramount Pictures' side, you see a completely different story with Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And holy cow, that is a lot of people. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is setting up to have an amazing opening weekend, closing in at 50 million, which is pretty good, but worldwide, it's going to go pretty hard. These opening weekend numbers are only estimated. These were the numbers projected almost 3 weeks ago. And now that we're at the 1 week away point from this movie, it's definitely skyrocketed. A lot of openings for this movie are practically sold out, and you rarely see that for an animated movie nowadays. And that really shows that this movie's going to be a force to reckon with in the holiday season. And you don't see that with Mufasa at all. And just coming around with this film, it's Shadow. And I'm not just saying that, oh, it's just Shadow, it's just the character. Shadow itself is bigger than Sonic, and I think Sega even knows it. I've never seen a character surpass the popularity of its main mascot, and this is the character to do it. It's music attached to it. Everything attached to this character has brought so many fans together, and to see this done properly on the big screen is also a big factor. The general audience is content with the Sonic movies because, well, they had pretty rough beginnings, and they still somehow promote it because they have like a ugly sweater going for Ugly Sonic, which is pretty cool. But they had tough beginnings, but nowadays, they're doing pretty well. The designs look amazing now. The things in the movies are very faithful. Jim Carrey as Eggman is amazing. And everyone can respect that, yeah, they're gonna deliver on a movie adapting Sonic Adventure 2 and bringing Shadow's story to the big screen. And I think everyone can agree. Yeah, there's been some early screeners this week, and everybody has been loving it. I think the only problem people have with the Sonic movies is the humor, and that's understandable, but you gotta remember, it's still a Sonic movie after all. But this movie does go insane, from what I've heard, and I think that this movie's going to take it all. What I mean by take it all, take it all for the holiday season. What I mean by this is that Sonic the Hedgehog 3 may crush the holiday season going into January and everything. There's one minor thing with Mufasa the Lion King, and that is internationally. This movie may do okay over here in the US, but you have to factor in the rest of the world. That is a market that is also very big for Disney. And while in America Sonic could beat Mufasa, there's a pretty good chance that internationally Mufasa the Lion King could take over at the international box office and maybe squeak by. This is going to be very, very tough. Although Mufasa the Lion King is definitely not getting $1 billion or the same status as the first movie. That movie has been tarnished, and it's not getting up to that point. My prediction, I see the movie getting to $500 million, but I really don't see it going any farther than that. It's just not where Disney has been in quite a long time in terms of, standards in quote-unquote, they consider this live action, but in reality it still is animated. They just want you to believe it's live action. And as for Sonic, I see it getting into the 500, possibly 600 range. It might even go higher, because the hype for this movie is higher than both Sonic movies combined. And with the holiday season, there is a much, much bigger box office market than the previous movies had in the spring. And I think that is why Paramount has kept it here so long, because they know there could be so much more profits here at hand. So maybe, I might be wrong about 500 and 600. It may go farther than that. If this movie is really a smash hit with fans, and everybody is talking about it, if you have the people saying no spoilers, this is one of those movies where people are serious, they really want to go out and see this. Even though this is a pretty big fan base, I've seen it firsthand, and I think it's gonna do really well. In terms of this weekend, overall, I think Sonic's gonna take over most of the holiday season. I'll say that Sonic could pass Mufasa. It does have a really good chance, and it probably will domestically. But as for the international market, they do really like these Disney remakes, and there is a chance that the international market will carry Mufasa the Lion King. But either way, I'm going to be watching both movies anyways. I'm definitely watching Mufasa first, just to get that all out of me, and then get the main course of Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I think that's how I'm gonna walk into it. But, what are your thoughts? Which movie will you be seeing first? Or, which one are you just most hyped for in general? Let me know down in the comments, and, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, everyone.